Hey guys, how you doing? I hope you're doing okay. Going to read through a fair bit of the article, not quite all of it. I'm also going to start off by giving you a trigger warning. About midway through, we're going to go into some details in regards to the beating of the boy concerned, one of whom died, one of whom was murdered in a very egregious way, allegedly at the hand of this woman that you see in front of you, Kimberly Monique Smith from North Carolina. And she allegedly killed her 5-year-old adopted son, as well as allegedly beaten the 5-year-old's older brother, 6-year-old boy. The boy that died is Kendall Marquise Smith, if I pronounce his middle name correctly. 5-year-old boy, and he was murdered in June 2021. The main reason for this being an article at this point in time is that prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for Kimberly Monique Smith should she be found guilty. So if I'm understanding things correctly, the trial is yet to take place. If she is found guilty, then prosecutors would like the judge to sentence her to death. The reasons being the particularly egregious nature of the beatings and murder of Kendall Marquise Smith, her 5-year-old adoptive son. So there's an overview. I believe I've said that I'm giving a trigger warning. We're going to go into some details about midway through, and there's a link in the description, but we're going to read through things at this point. Prosecutors in North Carolina are pursuing the death penalty against a mother accused of brutally murdering her 5-year-old adopted son last year. Appearing in Forsyth County Superior Court on Friday, Assistant District Attorney Belinda Foster declared that the state wants to bring a capital case against this alleged scumbag, Kimberly Monique Smith, due to the especially heinous nature of her alleged crimes. A grand jury in October 2021 indicted Smith on felony charges including first-degree murder in the June 2021 death of her adopted son, Kendall Marquise Smith. The adoptive mother was also charged with intentional child abuse, inflicting serious bodily harm, which is also a felony, for allegedly abusing her 6-year-old son, Kendall's older brother. Okay, officers, so at this point, I'll just let you know we're going to go into some details. So a trigger warning comes into play at this point. Officers with the Winston-Salem Police Department and Emergency Medical Services personnel at approximately 9:53 a.m. on June the 6th responded to a 911 call about an unresponsive child at a residence located on Whisperwood Street in Rural Hall. Upon arriving on the scene, first responders found one of Smith's friends giving CPR to an unresponsive Kendall, and the emergency services team took over performing life-saving procedures. Emergency medical services medics transported young Kendall to Brenner Children's Hospital, where doctors attempted to resuscitate the boy, but he succumbed to his injuries shortly after arriving and was pronounced dead later that evening. An officer who accompanied Kendall to the hospital observed that the boy had suffered extensive bruising on his body and also had an abrasion on the top of his penis and a laceration on his scrotum. When questioned about Kendall's injuries, Kimberly's stories, the adoptive mother's stories about what happened, reportedly changed multiple times. Initially, she told investigators that she was holding Kendall when she tripped on her other child and dropped him on his head. 2 days later, she allegedly claimed to have had no part in Kendall's injuries, reportedly telling police that her son was just clumsy and fell whilst running. But Kendall's brother reportedly told a social worker that he saw his mother hit Kendall, first with a wooden yardstick, then with a cord of a phone charger, and finally with a belt. The brother, the 6-year-old, also reported that the adoptive mother often flicked his and Kendall's genitalia as punishment for wetting the bed. An autopsy performed by a pathologist reportedly determined that Kendall's death was a homicide caused by blunt force trauma to the back of the head. The blow reportedly caused the boy's brain to swell, depriving him of oxygen. The pathologist also reportedly found unique bruises up and down Kendall's body that police said were matched to a belt buckle recovered from inside Kimberly Smith's home. Investigators analysed masking tape recovered from the scene and determined the tape was placed over the child's mouth and wrapped around his head and neck 2 times to keep his mouth shut. The adoptive mother allegedly admitted that she had taped Kendall's mouth shut to keep him from screaming and that she had hit him with a yardstick and charger cord. She also allegedly said that she was making the boy run suicide drills in his room as punishment because he drank after 5 p.m. She said she put him in the bath for about 30 minutes and tried to wake him up before calling her friend over. The friend reportedly called 911. And the police department have also let us know that this adoptive mother has been in charge, or the legal guardian for Kendall, for about 2 years. So there we go. She's been charged. She's been accused of murdering young Kendall. She's held at Forsyth County Jail without bond. So the trial is yet to go ahead. We're not being provided with a date for the trial, as far as I understand, if I have that correct. But we do know that the prosecutors are going to be seeking the death penalty should she be found guilty. And personally, I applaud that. I think that if it's beyond reasonable doubt that someone has murdered a child, then give them the death penalty. Maybe I don't believe that in all cases. I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps I'm a little bit confused in those cases where mental illness is clearly at play. Where there has been cases that I've made videos of in just the last couple of days of a couple of cases where the parent who has gone on to murder their own child is clearly suffering from psychosis and has been diagnosed as such. I guess in those cases I have a little bit of empathy for the parent, and perhaps the death penalty isn't appropriate in those cases. I'm interested in your thoughts in regards to that. You might find what I've said to be offensive there, but certainly in the majority of cases where an adult murders a child, knowingly murders a child, and cannot claim to be insane, then yeah, I'm all for the death penalty. So let's hope this trial goes ahead. She has admitted to some wrongdoing. I believe she's admitted to tying up the child and with masking tape and beating the child. I believe she's admitted to that. Yes. She's admitted to taping up Kendall's mouth shut to stop him from screaming. She's admitted to making the boy do suicide drills. I'm not sure entirely what that is, but I believe it's, excessive exercise, which seems to be a recurring trend in these cases. Either way, she's an absolute psycho. Let's hope that she does get found guilty, frankly. If she is guilty, let's hope she gets found guilty. Let's hope she gets the death penalty, and let's have one less scumbag on this planet.